Hello everyone. In the previous video, we saw how we can install and set up Visual Studio with C++. So in this video, let's launch Visual Studio and write a simple code in C++. So the purpose of this video is not to learn C++. We're gonna just see the first time we launch Visual Studio, how we're gonna configure it, and then how we can write code in Visual Studio. So next we're gonna move to a more involved coding assignments. So you can find Visual Studio from the Start menu and just left click on it, and this will launch Visual Studio. You can create an account so you can sign in, but for now we're gonna skip. Development settings, you can leave it as general or you can pick specific language. We'll leave it as general, and here you can pick the theme, dark or light. I'm gonna leave it dark. Start visuals. So once you get to this view, we can create a project and start writing some codes in C++. So the first step, you wanna click on create a new project, and then you're gonna select empty project, C++ Windows console. So you click next. So in this area here, you can select the path where you want to save your project. So for me, I want to save it in downloads, and I created a folder I called CPP. I recommend you check this check mark here to place the solution and project in the same directory. So now you can give your project any name that you wanted. So let's call it my first code. And now we click on create, and then this will open. So now you need some source files in order to start writing C++ codes. But before this, let me highlight something really quick. So in my download area, we created a folder called CPP. And then inside it, we create the project that called my first code. So what this one will do, when you double click open this CPP folder, you're going to see a folder with the project name we created. It's called my first code. So now let's go back and start writing a simple code. So on the source file, you can right click, hover over add, and then click on new item, or shortcut you can do Control Shift and A. So you click on new item. So now you can choose what kind of file you want it. So we need a CPP file. We're going to click on CPP, and then here you can give it any name you want it. So let's call it main, and you click on add. So now this will be added to the source files, and then you can see here my first code project, and then we're going to write into the main. So first thing you want to do, you want to include some libraries. Let's include the IO stream, and then let's write a first code into the main function. So in C++, you can have as many functions as you want, but at least one function. So we're going to call it main. And then at the end, return 0 if everything compiled without errors. So we'll return 0 errors. And every line in C++ must end with a semicolon. So let's just write something simple for this video. And then next we'll move to a more complicated codes. So we're going to write cout std colon cout, and then let's write welcome to C++. So what this one will do, by the way, we can zoom in by holding the control button down and then rolling the mouse wheel up or down. So let me zoom in a little bit. So when we write cout, this will write whatever you write in between double quotation out to the console. So let's run this code here. So now we see welcome to C++. So if you don't want to write std every time, you can use using namespace std. Now you can get rid of the std colon. You can directly write cout and then whatever you want to output to the console. So same thing, this is it. So let's go back to our project folder and see what we see in there. So this, we called it my first code. We double click on it, and then inside it you see the main CPP code. So if you want to see what you wrote in it, you can write and edit it with any text editors. You can use Notepad++ or any text editor. Then you can see your code here. You can share it, you can send it to people, you can edit it in here, copy paste it back in the Visual Studio and compile it. Also, you can see your project name. So if you want to come back and reopen this project, you can click File, Open, and click on My First Code.slnx. So this is all for this video. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching.
Enjoyed this video? Subscribe to the Computer Engineering Notebook for more tutorials on computer architecture, embedded systems, and hardware design. And hit the bell to catch the next one.